I'm back in the portal again. You understand me? Um, First off, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah Bahashim Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the true name of the living God of Israel. Yahweh Shah is the true name of the one that everyone ignorantly calls Jesus. Reason is because the letter J was created in 1524. This Bible is way older than 1524, so we know his name couldn't have been Jesus. The collections and the things in this book. And Rakakwadash is Paleo Hebrew for Holy Spirit, okay? If you see a light like you just seen pop up in the background, those are my angels. They rock with me when I come and get his word. It is not a special effect. It is very cloudy right now, so that is not the sun, okay? Second and foremost, I want to pay homage to all the great men and all the great prophets that came before me with this wise word. You understand me? And with the messages of this word. And speaking of the new covenant and the New Testament, which are the same thing, okay? I wanna today, right? I wanna touch on, because yesterday, if you did catch my lesson on yesterday, kudos to you. I hope you did learn something. But I kind of want to do a continuation on that, but go more in depth about the Holy Spirit. You know what I'm saying? I think yesterday's lesson was a great lesson. But today I want to deal with the what is the spirit? You know what I'm saying? You feel me? A spirit, right? Because first of all, if you into metaphysics, and I know a lot of you guys that are being brung to my algorithm, or I'm popping up in your algorithm, you 9 out of 10 have heard, something along that we are spirits having a human experience, right? But I want to flip that, right? I want to flip that. I want to say that we are humans having a spiritual experience. And the reason why I'm saying that is because on earth, you are a human being. You understand me? And your life is governed by spirits. Okay? You just a vessel. But your life is governed by spirits, right? Now, in order for a spirit to deal with you or sup with you, right, you have to be ordained in that field. Okay? And what I mean by ordained, that means that you was designed to be in that. That's your purpose, right? A spirit is the energy of that thing, okay? And you got various different spirits. You got, the spirit of music, right? You got the spirit of sports. We can break it down. The spirit of basketball, the spirit of football, right? You got the spirit of this ministry, right? Which is governed by the Holy Spirit, right? You got various different spirits out here, right? So what happens is, whatever you was ordained to be a part of, the spirit of that thing is gonna come sup with you, which means that you're gonna be in a flow state. That's what the spirit is. A spirit is putting you in the flow state of that thing, okay? But you first have to be ordained with that. Now, if you're ordained with it and you become one with it, right? You operating off of 6G of that spirit, okay? You know what I'm saying? I hope I'm making sense of what I'm saying, because I touched on it a little bit yesterday, but I wanted to go into deeper detail today, right? And the problem with a lot of us, right? We're doing things that we wasn't specifically ordained to be doing or ordained to be at, right? A lot of you guys are working on jobs that you wasn't ordained to be working on. That's why you feel off, right? A lot of you guys are going to schools that you weren't ordained to go to, right? That's why I feel off, right? A lot of you guys are off into fields that you wasn't ordained to be in, right? That's why you feel off in that shit. You know what I'm saying? And you're doing it for various different reasons, right? You're doing it for money, a lot of times. You're doing it for social interactions. You're doing it because somebody told you that, they suggested for you to do it, right? Not because you was ordained to do it, right? So since you wasn't ordained to do it, the spirit of that thing can't deal with you. So you'll never be able to be in the flow state of that thing, whatever it may be. Now, how do you know when you're ordained for that? Well, ain't nobody got to tell you to do it, right? That's the same. That's synonymous of me asking, or somebody asking Taz, how I find my purpose. They ask it. What they really asking is, Taz, how do I know what I'm ordained for? That's what they asking, right? Well, ain't nobody got to tell you what the fuck to do, right? Or when to do it. You just gonna do it. Okay, that's when you know what your purpose is. Like, if you're ordained to be a basketball player, right? Don't nobody gotta make you go play basketball. You gonna play it regardless of if you getting paid or not, right? You understand me? The spirit of basketball is gonna sup with you. Okay, you understand me? And it's gonna be that way since you was a child. Right? You probably was about 3 years old running around the house with a basketball underneath your arm. You understand me? And people pretty much know around you already. You know what I'm saying? And that's with anything that you do. I don't care if it's mechanic work, if it's football, whatever, bro. If it's plumbing, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you was ordained to do, you gonna do it. Ain't nobody gotta make you do it. It's not like you forcing yourself to do it. Okay? And it's even down to this ministry, right? When you're ordained to do something in that field, you are the elect of that field. Okay? Now, when it come down to this ministry, the Most High is only dealing with the elect in this field, which is the ministry, right? The new covenant. He's only dealing with the elect. Okay? But regardless to what you do, right? When that spirit, when the spirit wants you, right? When the spirit of a thing wants you, there's nothing you can do about it, right? You gonna go to it. You gonna draw instantly to it, right? If you was designed and created by the Most High God in the heavens to be a singer, you gonna sing, right? The spirit of music is gonna come seek you out, right? It's gonna come seek you out. If you was created to be a producer, right? A music producer, the spirit of music is going to come seek you out. Ain't nobody gonna have to fucking make you sit down and make a beat, right? You gonna be nobody. Like a lot of people say, discipline is doing what you have to do, even when you don't want to do it. I say that's incorrect, right? Because that's only for doing something that you're not ordained to do. You understand me? That's only doing something that you're not ordained to do. Because when you're ordained to do something, ain't nobody got to make you do shit. You gonna do it, right? And you gonna stay up as long as you got to stay up. You gonna get up early if you got to get up early, right? You gonna do whatever you got to do, right? If it calls for you to eat certain foods or to do certain things, you gonna do it. You gonna get in that vibration of that thing, and the more you do it, right, the more that spirit is gonna take over you, okay? And you'll be operating at 6G, which is the flow state of that thing, right? I hope I'm explaining that well to you guys. Because there's a lot of people out here, man, like I say, that's doing things that they wasn't ordained to do in the heavens, right? They coming down to earth, and they're doing shit that they really wasn't designed to do, just because they went to school for it, right? Or just because they got a certificate for it. Just because you got it, that don't mean you was ordained to do that. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? It's a lot of preachers out here that's like that. They went to a seminary school, and now they feel like, oh, I'm by me being certified to be a preacher, I'm a preacher. No. You have to be ordained for that. Okay? That's why your ministry is whack right now. No matter how big your church is, or even how small your church is, right? Your ministry is whack because you wasn't ordained to be in that position. You don't know how to convey the information. Okay? You wasn't ordained to do that, right? Everybody ain't meant to be teachers, man. Everybody ain't meant to be coaches, right? But when you are ordained to be a teacher, when you are ordained to be a coach, right? You have a skill. You know how to convey the information to make it relatable, right? All of us done went to school and we all done came across a great teacher, man. You know what I'm saying? You know when you got a great teacher because you look for them. You know what I'm saying? You look for them. Now, a great teacher, what makes a teacher great is they know how to convey the information to each one of their students. They understand, they know all their students. They know how each student operate and work. They know what really they supposed to be doing, right? So a great teacher, if a great teacher know that, okay, this student right here is into football, right? Okay, in order for me to get them to receive this information, I'm going to have to talk to them in a football terminology, right? That's a parable, right? Analogy is another word for a parable, right? Now, the person that's sitting next to them, if they not into football or know anything about football, that analogy is going to go straight over their head, right? Now, a bad teacher can't understand that, so they try to speak universal, besides speaking, individually to each student. You know what I'm saying? And that a lot of times that's what it be with children, bro. It's not that the children can't learn or they have an inability to learn. It really be the teacher. The teacher really not in their proper position. They really wasn't ordained to be a teacher. They just there to get a paycheck, right? And you know that because a lot of us done been to school. We know the teachers that were ordained to be teachers because guess what? Then everybody in the school, every student in the school, they love that teacher. They love that teacher. It is not because the teacher let them do whatever the fuck they want to do. It's because the teacher has the ability, the skill to be able to convey the information to them. You get what I'm saying? And it doesn't feel forced, right? It doesn't feel forced at all, right? And that carries a great name, right? It carries so much of a great name that, let's say you in middle school, but you got older students telling you about, hey, man, when you come over here to high school, bro, you better make sure, you better hope you get such and such, right? You know what I'm saying? That's when you know you're a great teacher. You get what I'm saying? And you know, all teachers ain't for everybody. You feel me? And that's why I have to disagree with Apostle Tahar from Great Millstone when he sent out the decree that everybody was supposed to make 3 to 4 videos a day. Look, man, you trying to play God at that point, my G. Everybody ain't made to be a prophet. Everybody wasn't sent to the earth and ordained to be a teacher or a prophet. Okay? You feel me? And for you to do that, you playing God. All right? Because each one of us were ordained to do what we was ordained to do, and we gonna do it regardless to whoever say anything, okay? But yeah, man, because it's certain, man, I gotta say this, man. It's certain brothers, man, in Great Millstone that I get on y'all video, bro, and I'm talking about you have no enthusiasm whatsoever, no fire, no fire. You start out the video, I want to give all praise to Yahweh B'Shem, Yahweh Shah B'Shem, Wakakodai. Like you being forced to do it. You know why? Because you wasn't ordained to do that. You following the commandments of man, right? You wasn't ordained to be a teacher or a prophet, right? You was probably just ordained to be a believer, okay? I had to get that out. But whatever you was ordained for, bro, you gonna do it regardless. You gonna do it regardless. I promise you, you gonna do it regardless. Look how the angel gotta agree, right? You gonna do it regardless. You cannot escape. And all of us were ordained for something. All of us got a purpose here. You know what I'm saying? And let's get into Jeremiah, right? Jeremiah 1:5. And if you really tuned in, right, you pretty much know, what Jeremiah 1:5 says. But we just gonna get it for those who are operating on 2G. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? We gonna get it though, right? This is Jeremiah 1:5. It say, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations, right? And that's just talking about a prophet, right? But that order, that protocol is for everybody that's ordained to do what they're doing, right? Before you came to the earth, the Most High already knew. He already gave the decree. Hey, look, when you go down to the earth, you're going to be a basketball star, okay? There's nothing you can do to get out of that, right? When you go down to the earth, right, you here, yeah, you're going to be a great singer, okay? It's nothing that person can do to get away from that, right? Their whole life is gonna be fashioned around that, right? When you go down to the earth, look, you gonna be one of the most awesome hairstylists, okay? It's nothing that individual can do. Now, what happens is, right, a lot of people see that person doing that, right, and they feel like, well, they can do it, I can do it too. No. Only way you could do that is if you was ordained to do it. Okay? If you was ordained to do it, right? If you wasn't ordained to be a mechanic, you can try to do mechanic work, you gonna fuck over yourself. You gonna be like, man, it's gonna feel like you're forcing it, right? But when you're ordained to do mechanic work, you tap into the flow state, right? You tap into the flow state. It's like you get done so quick, it's like you just in the flow state of it. The spirit working with you, right? And what happens is, when you do find what you're ordained to be in, right? If you have a sense of feeling of, if I'm not doing this, I'm gonna die. Right? Shout out to my Uncle Carl Ray, man. My Uncle Carl Ray told me one time, because my Uncle Carl Ray he's ordained to be a mechanic. Even before I came to the earth, when I did come to the earth, and I understood human language, right? The human English language. Once I started to understand it, the only thing I heard about my Uncle Carl Ray was, man, Carl Ray been doing this forever right here, boy. Carl Ray been working on cars forever, boy. You feel me? He was ordained for that. Nobody had to make him. Man, I remember nobody had to wake my uncle up and be like, Carl Ray, go work on that car. He woke up. That was on his mind already from the jump. He telling you from the jump, look, I got to go work on such and such car. He's ordained for that. You understand me? And the thing is, I remember one time, I was sitting in the car with my uncle, man, and that nigga looked at me and he looked me deep in my eyes, right? And he say, nephew, I want to tell you something. And I was like, what's that? I know it was about to be profound. He say, man, if I ever stop working on cars, he say, I'm going to die, bro. I say, what? He say, man, if I ever stop working on cars, bro, he say, nephew, you might as well look for me to go ahead and give up the ghost. See, when you ordained for something, that's the feeling that you have, right? That's the feeling that you have. That if it get any point in my human experience where I feel like I can't sup with the spirit of this thing anymore, it's over for me. Ain't no sense for me being here, right? It's over for me. I'm done. And most people that you see that were operating in their purpose, when it got to the point in their human experience where they couldn't really execute that purpose no more, or and the spirit wasn't able to sup with them anymore in that purpose, they gave up the ghost. Right? I don't care who you name. Right? Whenever they decided in their mind that I'm gonna give it up, I'm done. It's over. Right? We can name a lot of people. Kobe Bryant. Right? Now, a lot of y'all be like, man, nah, bro, Kobe, that was just a freak accident. Well, let's remember, Kobe retired, right? Kobe wasn't playing basketball no more. Right? He gave up the ghost. He served his purpose. Right? Michael Jackson. Right? When Mike couldn't get on the stage no more, right? When his human experience got to the point where that spirit couldn't really just, do Mike gave up the ghost, right? Whitney Houston, right? When Whitney couldn't, hit the notes that she felt like she could hit anymore, a depression set in. Whitney gave up the ghost, right? And it happens in our human experience, right? Because this is flesh. It's just like any other thing that's part of this earth. You know, it has to waste away, right? And that's serious. That's you know, but the point of it all is to find your purpose, right? The find what you was ordained to do. You know what I'm saying? Cause like I say, man, a lot of y'all, man, doing things that, you know, you really ain't ordained to do. That's why you upset at your job, right? There is a job that you probably was ordained to really be at. And the thing is about the spirit is it will come and it'll convict your spirit. It will convict you and make you be like, hey, bro, you know you ain't supposed to be here. Why the fuck did you wake up and come to do this shit? Right? What I want to get. Where's my, what I did with it? That is crazy. What did I do with it? Oh, I'm tripping. Okay. I want to go to hold up. Let's go to I want to get nobody resist the will of God, right? Cause I don't care who you is, whatever God made you to do, you won't be able to resist His will. Is that no, that ain't well, where I want to go, man. Romans. Paul. You hear me? My dog Paul. You feel me? Yeah, Romans, man. You understand me? You feel me? I rock with Paul, man. I ain't lying. I do. I rock with Paul, bro. Here go right here. This crazy, the spirit led me straight. This is Paul, man. Romans 9:18. You feel me? And watch what Paul say, and we're gonna start from 18. It say, therefore have he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he hardeneth, right? Self-explanatory, which means the Most High have mercy on who He want to have mercy on, and He'll harden who He want to harden, right? You understand me? And that's when you know getting into your mission, right? You on your purpose, right? You know what I'm saying? He knowing that it's about time for you to wake up, the step into your position, right? Let's go. Let's keep reading. Thou would say then unto me, why doeth he yet find fault? For who have resisted his will? Prime example. Whatever you was ordained to do, you not gonna resist the Most High will, dog. I don't give a fuck, dog. I'm sorry, bro. You not gonna resist His will, King. You know, you know, you like I say, this is not a forced thing, bro. You don't have to force this. It's just gonna happen, right? It's gonna happen, bro. Like ain't nobody gotta tell you to do it. You just gonna do it. You feel me? Let's get on. And it's some people that the Most High God created just to be killers, to be rapists, right? To be witches, to be warlocks, right? He created certain spirits, certain individuals to inhabit those spirits within them. Taz, you lying. That ain't true. That ain't the God I serve. Well, let's go see. Let's go see, because you might be serving another God. Let's go see, right? Let's go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 39, verse 28. And let's see if you serving the same God of the Bible, right? And this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 39, right? Let's go to it. Ecclesiasticus is also called Sirach, and it's in a book called the Apocrypha. The Apocrypha, It sits in between the Old Testament and New Testament. The Caucasians took it out because they did not want Israelites, African Americans, Latinos, Native Americans, Puerto Ricans, Guatemalans, Cubans, Haitians, Jamaicans, and Venezuelans to wake up and realize who they were and who they are, the Caucasians, during the reincarnation process. So they removed the whole book. These are the lost books, right? In the KJV 1611, it's in there. If your preacher got a KJV 1611, he know it's in there. He just is he's compromised, so we can't teach out of it. Okay? That's why your book, he only makes sure you only got the Old Testament and New Testament. Because he's compromised. Right? And I don't give a fuck how they feel. Because a real preacher, a real minister that's ordained is going to teach out this book. They ain't compromised. Ecclesiasticus chapter 39, verse 28, right? It say, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them, right? So what that is saying is, if a person was created to kill, right? If they was created to inhabit the spirit of a killer within their being, it's nothing they can do. They can't resist that, right? It make whatever spirit, right? Whatever you was ordained for, when you doing what you was ordained to do, you gonna feel peace and joy in it. Regardless of how negative it may seem to somebody else or to the world, you gonna feel peace and joy in it, right? And look what it just said. It said the spirit of vengeance, when that person that the Most High created for that spirit of vengeance to be housed in, when they do those things, it make the Lord smile. Why? Because you doing what I created you to do. Now, if you got a problem with that, you need to check your spiritual temperature. Maybe you ain't been serving the Most High God of these scripts, right? Maybe you've been serving another God. Maybe you've been serving a God that man created, right? And if you have, this ain't for you, right? You're not part of the elect. Because the elect that are ordained to be the elect, we accept, right? We accept everything that the Most High say in these scripts, regardless to how the fuck the world may feel, okay? Because we're ordained to do that, all right? Since I want to get yeah, I'm on one right now. Right? Let's go to Numbers chapter 27 and 16. Let's eat some more on that, right? Let's eat some more on that, right? Because y'all didn't create y'all motherfucking self. I don't know why humans be feeling like that. Like humans be moving through the earth like they control shit and they created they self. You ain't create a motherfucking thing. You ain't create shit. You know what I'm saying? Then want to get mad and shit. Because shit ain't working out the way they want to do. Nigga, check your temperature. Check and see if you doing what you was ordained to be fucking doing. Look at the angel had to agree. Let's go to Numbers chapter 27. Verse 16. Right? Here it go right here. It say, let the Lord, right, the God of spirits of all flesh, set a man over the congregation, right? But the main point that I wanted to get was, let the Lord, the God of all spirits, right, of all flesh, right? Right? So once again, you are a human having a spiritual experience, right? You in flesh, but you are governed by spirits, okay? At one point, you was a spirit, right? Before you incarnated in this fleshly house, right? But now you are being governed by various different spirits, right? That are also partaking in this human experience right along with you, right? Okay? I want to go to Acts chapter 13. Acts chapter 13, verse 48. I'm just over here in you know what I'm saying? Acts is a serious scripture too, man. Right? Because, man, the Most High already know what each one of us was going to do before we even did it. And we be trying to go outside of, you know, the will of the Most High. You feel me? You know, and that's where you be fucking up at. nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real with you. If you was made to be a teacher, you gonna do that. Everything in your life gonna point to that. That's one way in you trying to find your purpose. Everything in your life from the time you was a child all the way up to wherever you at is gonna point to what it is that you gonna feel an attraction to it, right? You gonna be attracted to it, right? That's why some things work for some people and some things don't work for some people that's off in the same field. The things that working for that person that's in that field, they were ordained to be there. And this person here that's in the same field, shit ain't working for them. Why? Because they wasn't ordained to be there. Let's go to Acts. Chapter 13, verse 48. And a lot of us get off into shit because, other people. Influence of other people. Man, you need to go do this. And a lot of time for men, it be they bitch. All right? Let's go to Acts chapter 13, verse 48. I hope I'm really helping somebody out there, really tap into their purpose, right? Acts 13 and 48, right? Let's go to it. It says, and when the Gentiles heard this, the Gentiles are the Israelites at this moment of time that didn't know who they were coming back into remembrance of who they were because it was ordained for them to do that, right? These are the elect, right? That the Most High, when he brought them to the earth, he gave them a certain amount of time to stay asleep, and then he gave a certain amount of time for them to wake up, right? They were ordained to go through that process, right? And when the Gentiles heard this, they were glad and glorified the word of the Lord. And as many as were ordained to eternal life believed, right? Which means before they even, that scenario of them was already painted out. It was already written, right? That they was going to do that. That they was going to be the elect. That they was going to wake up. It was already ordained, right? The 2/3, the people that ain't going to wake up, that's part of Israel, they are ordained to be the 2/3, right? The Pharisees and Sadducees, which are your modern day Hebrew Israelite camps and your modern day preachers, they were ordained to be in that position, right? To be false prophets, okay? Not to teach the new covenant or believe that we are currently in the new covenant. They were ordained to do that, okay? Or to even believe that the blood is for everybody, right? They were ordained to do that, right? They got their purpose. Because there's some people that the Most High want over there. He ain't even fucking with. He don't even want them. I only want the elect, right? And the elect, when they hear the purity of this gospel, right? This gospel that I'm speaking right now, without guile, they gonna come to it, right? They gonna come to it. They gonna flow to it. By me being in music, I gotta give it, it's gonna be like harmony to them. It's gonna be like a sweet song that I'm singing to them, right? Let's go to Matthew chapter 4.